time to get it ready for paint. So first things first is to drain all the fluids out. So we're pulling the radiator out and also drain it out onto these stones over here because we've got garage carpet, so it'll just make a bloody mess inside. So let's pull this radiator out. Now that the radiator's out, time to throw tarpaulin down in the garage and pull this motor out. Last time we hear this thing start up. Now that the radiator's out, a simple process of just removing the intercooler and its componentry, remove the downpipe and unbolt the gearbox, the starter motor, drive shaft, and pull this motor out. How these swage lock fittings work, they're a push lock fitting, so you just press that anvil in there and the hose pops out just like that. The only downside is they can't handle direct heat, aka just like the story before, straight from a wastegate, but they can withstand quite a bit of temperature to start with, as they're usually used around, how do you say, like more industrial sites where there's steam, so steam temperatures and bits and pieces like that. So yeah, they can withstand the heat, this hose, just not direct flames out of a gate. Another thing I'll do if I get a bit of time, I might get rid of that oil cooler and make two in the corners there, because on the bumper that's on it, there's just two big holes, so aesthetically it'll be a bit pleasing than this offset one that sits to one side, and it'll fill up the big cavities in the bumper that's going on it. Obviously the motor's all out now, still got to remove the gearbox, the drive shaft's all undone, ready to roll. Man, that looks pretty putty through the lens, eh? Bloody modern cars with all their ugly looms, excessive everything in here. Look at everything, ABS, all the rubbish. Anyhow, that's all good. Here's our motor out. I've inspected the plates just up through the exhaust port. Plates and housings are like brand new, so it's a good sign I won't have to pull it apart. I was actually going to pull it apart and give it a freshen up, but going by the looks of the inside and the way the seals look, they look pretty good, so we're leaving that together for the now anyhow. One part we'll definitely be keeping is this PWR radiator. Can't beat those PWR products, they flow so well. Bugger all pressure drop over a big intercooler like that. Moving up here, so we got all these parts are basically not going back on the car. Turbo bigger than the car. Old school turbo smart gate on it. All these braided lines will be pretty much useless. I touched base before, we might be getting rid of that oil cooler just because it looks ugly. Well, we're definitely getting rid of that one anyhow. The only thing good is a blow-off valve, but I won't be running any blow-off valve at all. It's quite a shame really, because that starter motor is not even old, neither was this alternator. They just look ugly. But yeah, we've got to get new ones of them. Yeah. Obviously I'll be keeping that top manifold. Give it a quick little 400 before, just see if it's going to turn up. It's going to come out quite nice, and it will, so it won't take much work to revive all that polish finish. But we won't be polishing it, I'll be painting it of some sort. Yeah, look at it all. Oh, that's going back on the car. Check this out. So this is the first time my first attempt at making a manifold, turbo one. Sits up this way here. Not as bad as I thought it was. First time ever touching a TIG welder. So not great. There was no cracks or anything. So it's a good sign. Here on the underside. It's amazing because I actually had this HPC coated too, and it's obviously all come off. Some bugger all Ks too. So it looks a lot worse than it really is. I'll sandblast it. I'll show you what it looks like all cleaned up. But yeah, that's the That's the old manifold. Still, I thought it was going to be a lot more ugly than that, but yeah, it's pretty acceptable even to this day. Obviously the flow's not 100% ideal, but nonetheless, it still makes some good power.